DOT does have bicycle money. DOT is interested in finding ways to connect the island and bridge to bridge. So I think DOT is a legitimate, and BDM are legitimate sources of potential funding. That's basically what this says.
Yeah, I think it's a simple project for them. They'd be happy, I would think.
What makes it simpler for everybody is the fact that the town owns all the land, that there isn't, there aren't issues of private property. Everything we're talking about from North Road until we get to the parking area at Potter's Cove is publicly owned. It's all in public ownership. So it makes everybody's job an awful lot easier. You don't have to condemn property. You don't have to negotiate with property. You don't have to find out, pay expensive dollars for acquisition of property.
Right.
Everything is owned. And I think the connections along the way of the golf course and Potter's Cove and the soccer field and the community farm all work to the advantage of this sort of plan. So I think that will be good. Now, we get to this last sentence, and this came out of Kate's meeting with us last meeting. And I started to try and write it, and I ran it up against the wall in a hurry. And then I realized that Nancy had gone ahead and got the rolling agenda people on our agenda for today, and so I wanted to see what they've got to say. But I don't really know how to write this. I don't know what we want to say. I know Kate had a very sort of impassioned and I thought logical idea about if we're going to try and get people to ride bikes, we have an obligation to make sure that people understand. Well, I mean, parts of me agree with that, but when I started riding my bike and I started riding it in school and riding it on the roads, they didn't stop all the motorists and educate them as to my being there. So I don't know how much, I don't know what it means. I guess I can't get my hands around if somebody said to me, okay, that's a good idea, how are you going to educate motorists other than you stick a sign in front of them and say there's bikes on the road? I don't know.
It's going to be, I think you're looking at something that a lot of communities and states are going to be looking at. And it's just going to take time. Time will help this. And I think Kate's ideas of brochures for the schools, perhaps some safety classes on both sides of the fence, some letters that will happen automatically anyway. All those things bring the issue up, and bringing the issue up in itself brings awareness to a situation, which hopefully opens somebody's eyes while they're driving.
There's already, I mean, the school already provides some programs for safety, and this group has been working with the school, the Rolling Agenda, for the past, I want to say 5 years, and doing many things. They have the Walk and Bike to School Month, and they've held several bike rodeos, they call them, and I believe they've worked it into the curriculum, the health curriculum.
Oh, good.
Bicycling. So, and that group also, she forgot to mention at the very beginning, or at least for a while, had the police bicycle officer as part of the group. So, they're already doing quite a bit. I mean, which is part of the reason that we received funding.
Okay.
So just as a suggestion, maybe leave it as you've got it, which is a nice summation of how we feel. I don't know if we need to go further on that.
What do you think about one? I would like to go a little bit more about the schools doing stuff already. Just exactly what you just said. Yeah.
Because the rolling agenda is just
between the rolling agenda and what the school's doing, and maybe integrating it into the police department and having the police officer. I'd like to get that in there. That should continue.
Right. That's good.
The other thing I was thinking, what if the council designated Jamestown? If we requested that the council designate Jamestown as a Jamestown is a bicycle-friendly community, and we put a sign to that effect, sort of at the beginning of both bridges.
It's a great idea, I think.
And
it gets people thinking about.
Yeah, we do something. We can get somebody.
Gets automobiles thinking about.
That that if the council designated the town as bicycle friendly, and we notify people of that as they came into town or as they were moving about town. You can imagine a really neat sign where you come up to off of the Newport Bridge and you come to go into town at Connecticut Avenue there, where it says village, it says everything. You know, but it says Jamestown's a bicycle friendly community.
Next to the Tree City, USA.
Well, I'm just thinking, you know, if we're going to make that statement, shouldn't it be bicycle and pedestrian friendly?
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We might even sneak in the word sustainable, because that's a good word, but maybe not. I mean, not maybe, but that's a popular.
Might be dated in 5 years.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. It's so.
As sustainable.
Yeah. Everything is, you know,
Everything's
sustainable. But let's do that, bicycle and pedestrian friendly. So we'll put a reference to what's going on at the school, and we'll put a recommendation that the town council designate Jamestown as a bicycle friendly community, a bicycle pedestrian friendly community.
Bicycle and pedestrian.
Yep.
Shut your car off here.
Yeah, that's right. Coast to the town.
That's a really good idea.
And there's going to be some additional education, I'm assuming, when you change the speed limits, even if it's just a cruiser park there pulling people over when it goes from 40 to 25.
That's education.
Yeah.
That's education. I do think that if you never talked about bikes again, that speed limit probably should begin. There's no real point in waiting till you get to the Arnold Avenue. That there really are problems of congestion right there, starting at the bait shop, and so start it there and get people's mind down to 25 miles an hour. There. It doesn't. I don't.
Did you say south of the creek is where it starts? I thought that's what you said. I thought maybe it should be north of.
No, I think if I said south, I put the wrong direction. I think the sign should be
south of the water treatment, just north of the water treatment.
Yeah.
Probably right after the plant.
Yeah, I think I gotta go through and edit my words so that
south of the creek overpass, it should say north of the creek overpass, right?
it should say north of the creek overpass. Yes.
That's number 3
Are
on
you expecting
page 3.
anyone? I was locking the front, but I didn't know.
No, that's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so, thank you.
Thank you.
North. Where was that?
It's on North Road South on page 3.
Yeah.
Bullet number 3. It goes word. Yeah.
Yeah, it says south of the creek overpass.
South of the creek overpass.
No, you want it before.
Yeah,
Before.
no, you're absolutely right. I've got, anybody reading that is going to get so confused by north, south, east, west, what's he talking about?
We'll do a nice map.
Yeah, plus I've got to just make it clearer. I go south.
The word overpass, I didn't use.
Well, yeah, the other problem is you go south on North Road and people are saying, all of a sudden you're getting all kinds of,
When I think of overpass, I think of the overpass of the Albert Avenue.
yeah, and maybe the idea,
Creek Bridge, maybe it's the overpass.
yeah, maybe at that, just somewhere, I'll figure it so that it isn't all these south, north, south, so on. Okay, good. Now, is there anything else? Because this represents essentially our whole final report. Let me just talk to you very quickly about the format. My idea of the format would be on each one of these sort of headline parts of the report that we put a relevant picture. That we not just put it all in the back like this, but that we include it as smaller picture and integrate it right into the narrative. So the narrative.
Right, I just took some of the slides that we previously used that address the points.
And I think about the North Road South.
Here. But I'm going to change that anyway to town and DOT. North Road, town.
That made this clearer. But I think on that one we want to show kind of a narrow area.